So anyway, to continue with the other video, without spelling anything out, I can do it without spelling anything out. This is what they do in 2 Enough Men. What they can't get away with saying, they'll say something that anybody, it won't go over your head if you're, so. I have been around the world. Nobody's ever done that to me, but I've done it. Okay? So, can't get in trouble for that. Just like on 2 Enough Men, Charlie talks about, barbecuing alone, and you know what he's referring to, okay? But he can't say it. Although maybe they used to not, they get away with more now. I've been watching. My mom likes it too. I've been getting them all from Netflix. We've watched all first 4 seasons, and I know they can't get away with saying what. Apparently, because Charlie talked about barbecuing for alone or whatever. Used whatever he had done with some as his when he was doesn't matter, barbecuing alone. Okay. Something most people do, and even those who don't admit it probably do. Anyway, but in later episodes they actually say it outright, so I'm not sure even what but whatever. I guess it depends on the situation with their. I don't know. God, last night only reinforces my vow. And sometimes you'll go out on Craigslist and there'll be people who feel like I do, Be nice just to find someone who's willing to play a little make out and not expect sex, because you play a little make out, you're not in danger at all. 2 broke girls last night. An entire episode on STDs. Entire episode. Entire episode. And they talked outright about it. Times have changed. TV really talks about a hell of a lot more, and we'll say it outright, even on sitcoms, what they wouldn't do when I was growing up. Definitely not. Anyway, Craigslist and intelligence and whatnot, that's what I'm trying to get at. Back in LA, the guy, they're liars. They're all liars, okay? They're all liars. I was even out on some place where the person put right in his ad, come on, you really expect honesty in personal ads? Yeah, I'm honest. I was taking out personal ads when I was got 23, and I was completely honest, okay? Some men would write to me, you sound too good to be true, there must be something wrong with you. Yeah, I'm fucked in the head. I come from a dysfunctional, abusive background, complete with my mom going crazy in front of my husband when I was 10. I mean, I'm just not telling them this. I'm just saying, yeah, there is something wrong with me. I sound good on paper, but I'm all fucked up inside to this day, okay? But anyway, Craigslist, men will, they'll take out more than one ad. And they won't change the picture, or even if they do, the ones who don't even have a picture, I'm smart enough to see the words, and if I read entire long things. I like the long ads. I don't like the ones that just say, let's go screw in the, I like the long ads because I know that's, even though the guy probably more than likely I won't be physically attracted to him, because that's just how it usually is. I like to read the long ads anyway, and sometimes they turn me on, but. And because there's somebody who's just intelligent and deep and whatever, can write something that sparks my imagination or whatever. But some of these men, and I'm not reading women's ads, so I can't say that women aren't doing the same thing. I'm just saying I wouldn't. But we already know that, don't we? Because I, for the most part, tell the truth. They'll have 4 different ads out on Craigslist. In California, and I can read, bloop, 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 and it goes in my mind, And then, because I was reading, I didn't want Donald to know I had to trick Donald, so I'd periodically talk about whatever, or I'd say, yeah, I'm on Craigslist looking at penises, when really I was secretly uploading videos and didn't want him to know. I wanted to get away with it, so I pretended to be on. I was on Craigslist too, but you know what I mean. I was in danger all the time, so even if only danger of being tossed out of my ass with the clothes on my back, you know. You read these ads and you process them in your brain, and you stumble across another ad, and one time the guys just had the same damn picture, so that was just I laughed. I actually wrote to the guy to tell him off. I'm reading it, and I'll go to another ad, and I'll think, wait a minute, this wording sounds similar. It seems like it's similar writing style, and then the guy it'll be a completely different ad. Sometimes he'll even change his age, but there'll be a sentence or two that are as identical to the other ad I read, and I'm like, this is the same fucking guy. I know it is. I tried to call the guy on it one time, and then he was like, no, somebody's stealing my words. Well, he denied it. Okay, do I believe him? Whatever. My favorite was the guy who had this ad to men seeking women. Oh, I'm lonely. You know how it goes. I don't get along with my whatever. But I'm not looking for sex. I just want companion. I just want to hold you. Blah blah. And then on Casual Encounters, he had the same damn picture. I just want you to bend over and let me do such and such to your backside with my. See? And I'm like, oh, what a jerk. What a jerk, you know. I come from an recent abusive background. Donald destroyed me. I mean, you know, I can't trust any guy. I can't, you know, and I learn even on Craigslist, because I'll read a whole bunch of those ads. And I can tell when it's the same person, same guy, just posting a completely different ad for whatever reason, you know, but I know, you know. And you have to be careful, because somebody smart can trick. I have to be careful because I'm smart and I'm aware. But Donald was smart and deep, and you know what I mean? He was able to trick me, and I can be tricked. Not by an idiot, but by somebody smart, deep, and aware. Oh yeah, I can be tricked. I'm sure I can still be tricked. Because you can say things that appeal to me and my heart, and thinking you might actually like a crazy woman like me, you know, if you're physically attracted, you might just be more lenient or crazy yourself, whatever. But that's what Donald did to me. He was able to do it. He put right in his tape, you know, I know exactly what makes little Laura so vulnerable, and I'm going to get her here with me, and whatever, and he did. If I had known the truth about him, that he'd been on psych disability for the past 12 years, and he was on, you know, and he lived with his mom, do you think I would have... I mean, I would have still liked him, but it would have put a red flag, I think. I don't think I would have done what I'd done, run off to him, whatever. For all I knew, he was rich. He talked about in the tapes helping me become famous. The friggin' glowing eyes. You have the most beautiful fucking eyes, you know. I can make you famous. I can turn you into a little starlet with those friggin' glowing eyes, you know. He tricked me 100%. He tricked me. He hadn't even kissed a woman in 7 years before he met me. And I once stumbled across a thing, this was after he'd already had me, you know, already had me in his clutches, and I wasn't, you know, he'd already started destroying my self-esteem in ways he knew how to do, particularly convincing me that I'm crazy and no other guy will want me, so I better settle for him, even if he's not perfect, whatever. But I'm not expecting perfection. I'm expecting, you know, if I'm going to give up my dreams of trying to become famous, you're at least going to, you know, be fantastic in bed, and you know, and make me feel good outside of bed, you know, make me feel worthy and loving, you know what I mean? You know what I mean. But, you know, I don't think I would have run off and done what I did had I known everything about him. He tricked me. I later found a story. He was creative and imaginative, but it was a story he wrote. He talked about chopping the you-know-what off of his ex. Now, a lot of people fantasize about killing their exes, whatever. I mean, he was, like I said, he's highly imaginative. I wasn't supposed to find this. I was looking for stuff I wasn't snooping. I forget what I was doing. I think I was trying to find my snapshot grabs that he had gotten from my Alicia's World, and I shouldn't have clicked on what I did, but, you know, I'm nosy, and I clicked on it for whatever reason. He's like, I asked him, why'd you click on that? It said blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I don't know. A lot of things said blah, blah. I was looking for my pictures to get them so I would have them, you know. I wasn't intentionally searching. I had permission to be on his computer, but I found that. Oh, sure, he's a brilliant writer. He's a twisted psychopath. But that doesn't mean anything. But at points in our relationship, he talked about how he would get away. You know, I said, if I'm found dead, you'll be the first. He's like, no, I'd know how to do it. And then, you know, his mom wouldn't ever. If he had killed me, his mom would have hidden it. She would have stood by and protected him, and not even because she can't stand the scandal, you know. When he did what he did and left me for dead, you know what she said? Well, she convinced me. I'm walking around with bruises this big on my arms and whatever for days, and she was just like, well, you know, you were both drinking, Laura, and these things happen, and you have to learn how to forgive, you know, a devout Christian. But she didn't want to believe her son was capable of that, and she just wants to push it under the rug, and just more nightmare for me. Just more nightmare. Whole life's been a nightmare. A nightmare. What do you want? It's amazing. I can still smile at all. I'll tell you what makes me smile. Omar makes me smile. It does. Despite myself, Omar makes me smile. Don't you, Omar? You made Mama smile? I bet you're hungry, huh? I am so proud of him, like I said in the video this morning, the other video I created, the minute my mom left. Oh, I'm sorry, not the minute my mom, but, you know, I